I still remember the exact second my heart cracked open like a dropped plate. It was New Year's Eve, 10 seconds to midnight, and my mother looked me dead in the eye and said, "We never even got an invitation to your graduation, Elias." And in that moment, while everyone else counted down to a new year, I realized I'd been erased from my own life. My name is Elias Rowe. 34. Corporate litigator. The son who fixes things. The one who never asks for anything back. I live alone above a 24-hour laundromat that smells like bleach and warm cotton candy dryer sheets. I run at 4:47 a.m. because that's when the city is quiet enough for me to hear my own thoughts scream. I thought I had built armor out of spreadsheets and silence. Turns out the armor had a trapdoor, and my own family knew exactly where the latch was. It started small, the way termites do. A late utility bill here. Can you spot me till Friday, there? I'd Venmo my little brother Noah the money before he even finished the sentence. Mom would text a heart emoji. Dad would say nothing. That was the deal. I paid. They stayed happy. I stayed necessary. Then came law school graduation. I hand-addressed thick cream envelopes. I paid for tracking because I was terrified they'd get lost. I stood in line at the post office like a kid waiting for Santa, watching the clerk stamp each one. I waited for replies that never came. Graduation day, I sat in a sea of black gowns and scanned the bleachers for faces I'd known my whole life. Nothing. I took one photo alone against a concrete pillar. My smile looked borrowed. When Mom finally called 3 weeks later, her voice light, like she was asking about the weather, "Your father says you've been distant." I said, "I sent invitations." She said, "We never got anything." I swallowed the sentence I wanted to scream and just said, "Okay." Fast forward to that New Year's Eve party. Fairy lights. Cheap champagne. The smell of cinnamon and old resentment. I'm by the door taking off my coat when Mom corners me. "Why didn't you come to Noah's graduation?" The room tilts. I say, "I had mine the same month." "You were invited." She laughs like I told a joke in poor taste. "We never got anything, Elias." Across the room, Noah raises his glass to me, that sun-drenched grin that forgives him everything. I pull out my phone. Open the postal app. Zoom in on the signatures. 3 identical loops. Noah Rowe. Noah Rowe. Noah Rowe. Signed for every single envelope addressed to Mom, Dad, and himself. The air leaves the room like someone pulled a plug. Mom's smile freezes. Dad pretends to check fantasy football. Noah shrugs. "Bro, looks like a prank." I sign for the house all the time. I say, "Carrier skin says 2:14 p.m. You were home from community college that day." Mom touches my arm, gentle, poisonous. "It's New Year's, sweetheart. Let's not do this now." Translation, let's never do this. I put my phone away. The countdown starts on TV. 10. 9. 8. I walk out at 4. Fireworks explode overhead like accusations. But that wasn't the worst of it. The worst came 3 months later, when I finally opened the storage unit I'd been renting under my name for 6 years. I'd forgotten it existed. I only kept it because Mom once said, "We might need extra space for holiday decorations." I drove over on a Sunday with a hangover from silence. The lock stuck. When the door finally rolled up, dust danced in the light like dirty snow. Boxes. Dozens of them. All labeled in my handwriting. Tax documents. Old photo albums. My childhood coin collection. And on top of every single box, a yellow post-it in Noah's handwriting. "Thanks for holding this, bro. We'll grab soon." I tore one open, the first one. Inside, the leather jacket I'd reported stolen sophomore year of college. Another box, my high school trophies. Another, the signed first edition Vonnegut I thought I'd lost in a move. Another, every single graduation gift check my aunts and uncles had written to me, addressed to Elias Rowe, that somehow never made it to me. The amounts were still legible. Total, $11,400. Noah had been cashing them. For 8 years. I sat on the concrete floor and laughed until I gagged. Not because it was funny. Because the math finally made a horrible kind of sense. Every time I helped Noah, every emergency float, every "I'll pay you back," he'd already been paid. By me. From gifts meant for me. I took photos. Hundreds of them. Then I changed the lock on the unit, put it under a new contract in only my name, and drove home shaking so hard I had to pull over twice. That night the family chat exploded. "Mom, this is insane. Those were family gifts. Noah, you're literally stealing from me right now. Dad, come to dinner tomorrow and we'll sort this like adults." I typed one sentence and left the chat forever. The gifts had my name on them. Just like the envelopes. Just like the life I paid for while you erased me from it. I didn't go to dinner. I went running instead. 10 miles. Until my lungs burned like righteous fire. 2 weeks later Noah showed up at my office. Hoodie. Expensive new watch. Same sheepish smile. "Bro. Can we talk?" I let him into the conference room. Closed the door. He launched into the speech I knew by heart: "Investors almost in, just needs a bridge, I'm good for it this time, blood is thicker, etc." I slid the printed postal receipts across the table. Then the photos of the storage unit. Then the scanned checks with his forged endorsements on the back. His face went the color of old paper. I said, "You have 30 days to return every cent, or I file charges. Identity theft, mail fraud, forgery. Pick your felony." He started to cry. Real tears. I almost felt bad. Almost. He paid. In installments. From the money he'd already stolen from me. Mom still sends birthday cards with $20 bills for coffee. I donate them to the domestic violence shelter down the street. Dad hasn't spoken to me since the day I changed the storage lock. Noah moved to Austin. Posts sunrise yoga photos now. Caption always says something about healing. And me. I still run at 4:47 a.m. But now I smile at the skyline instead of gritting my teeth. My apartment smells like coffee I brew for one. The laundromat cat adopted me, I named her Evidence. Some nights I open the storage unit just to sit among the boxes that are finally, truly mine. I touch the trophies. The books. The leather jacket that still fits. Here's the part that keeps me awake. I love them so much I let them rob me blind. And the worst twist of all. If Noah walked in right now, broken, crying, promising he's changed, I still don't know if I'd call the police. Or hand him a tissue. So tell me, because I can't ask anyone else without breaking all over again. If the people who raised you spent your whole life stealing pieces of you and calling it love, would you forgive them? Or would you finally lock the door and throw away the key? I'm waiting for your answer in the comments. Because some nights, I'm still not sure I made the right choice.